Good evening. I'm Enary Darklore, and welcome to Churikua. Tonight, we will listen to the legend of Maria Beheaded, or Maria Degolada, from Porto Alegre, Brazil. Here I am, close to leave this world behind. I arrived to Porto Alegre in 1895, and in 1897, I became a soldier. I wanted to be seen as an important person, serving my country and fighting not just for my career, so did my family. Who would believe I had been witness of what would be happening? From the tragedy that had made a mark into everybody's memories for decades and maybe centuries? When I arrived to the army, it wasn't unexpected that to get used to the soldiers' life demands, yet make friends inside the brigade. Although, due to the fact of being a quiet person, it was one of the best soldiers and brigade mate, Bruno Suarez Picudo. For me, who had just started, was a good example. He advised me on technical details, combat tactics, guns, weapons, and barely about common issues not related in any aspect to our life of duty. One night, he arrived telling us that he had a girlfriend, a beautiful young lady from Germany, whose name was Maria Francelina Trenes. At the beginning, she barely speaks Portuguese, but it wasn't an obstacle to accept being his girlfriend. On the first weeks, he was full of joy, happy, but little by little, he was made tense, being tired, such as something was worrying him. Other boys and me asked him, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, yeah," even though his face was telling us the opposite to his answers. I had some disagreement with Maria, that's all. When we asked him about what happened, he just said that everything was fine and he preferred not to talk nor to think more about it. I was lucky to find a beautiful woman to whom, after winning her heart, accepted to be my girlfriend, and I became the last one from the 1st Cavalry Brigade on being on a relationship. So, then we organized a picnic with our girlfriends. Whereas it sounds a little strange, the place we decided to organize our event was in Mogo dos Pício. We arrived, and after talking a little, we agreed to do fire to heat the meal. Bruno and other mates supposed to install where to cook and heat the meal. Maria and other friends were to look for firewood. We ate and enjoyed the day. Once we finished eating, and while the girls started to tidy up and keep everything, another friend and I were in charge of keeping all the heavy stuff. When I realized something happened, and Bruno walked furiously toward Maria. He dragged her from the arm and went walking behind a fig tree, where we had left some stuff we had used for our picnic. We just saw how they became angry and started to argue. We didn't understand what they were arguing about due to the distance. Then Maria took an iron tube and hit him with it. Bruno did his best to dodge the hit. Then he took the tube and drew it out of Maria's range. A friend and I started to run to stop them. Maria ran around the fig tree. She took a firewood, and suddenly everything was over for us because when we arrived, it was too late. Bruno beheaded Maria with a knife and in just one slash. We did everything possible to disarm him, but his anger was so enormous that we barely were heartless. Another friend's girlfriend and mine went to look for the police. After that horrific scene, looking at how Maria's eyes saw through the nun and how she was lying on the fig tree, we didn't understand how this happened. After this, Bruno was taken to court and was found guilty. I barely saw him just once in jail. He told me he was repentant of what he had done. He got ill and died in prison. In his last days, according to other prisoners, he was thoughtful and sighing, sometimes like praying and whispering the name of Maria. People in town buried her in the same place she died and built her a little chapel, Nuestra Señora da Conceição. At the beginning, they prayed for her everlasting rest, and one day a person prayed asking for help, and so she helped. The word was spread, and lots of people were going, asking her for help, and their requests were listened and granted. A soldier from our same brigade found a former love and wished so much to be with her. So, in his desire, went to the chapel and asked Maria for help to be with his love. 3 days later, and when he was on his patrol, he was attacked by a prisoner who escaped. In little time, I'm joining those who got what they wanted. I ask Maria to cure me from this illness which is afflicting me. There is no doubt that Maria doesn't intercede benevolently in police officers nor soldiers. She is dedicated to her new labor now and forever.